Think about the last time you checked your bank balance before buying something small. A coffee, a sandwich, something under $10. You did a little math in your head before you tapped your card. Quick, automatic. You barely noticed you did it. That math, that tiny constant calculation running in the back of your mind, is what this video is about. Because when people imagine being rich, they imagine the things: the car, the house, the watch, the vacation you scroll past at midnight. But that's not what money actually buys. What money really buys is silence. It buys the deletion of a voice in your head, a voice so quiet and so constant that you've stopped noticing it's even there. Let me show you that voice. And then let me show you the people who've never heard it. It starts the second you wake up. Before your eyes are fully open, before coffee, there's a number waiting for you. How many days until payday? How much is left? Whether the thing that auto-renews already hit. A rich person wakes up and the first thing they think about is what they want to do that day. You wake up and the first thing you think about is what you're allowed to do that day. You get in the car and the gas light is on, so you stop and you don't say fill it up. You say $20 because 20 is what gets you to Friday. The rich person fills the tank without looking at the number and forgets the gas station existed by the time they reach the next light. Then the car makes a sound. A new sound, a small one, and your whole body tightens because you know that sounds cost money. A noise isn't a noise to you. It's a bill that hasn't arrived yet. The rich person hears the same sound and thinks, I'll get it looked at, and then thinks about something else. For them, the sound is an errand. For you, it's a threat. You get home and it's cold and you don't turn the heat up. You put on another layer instead. You've already done the math on what a warmer room costs, and you've quietly decided you can live with being a little cold. The rich person sets the temperature to whatever feels good and never connects it to a bill, because for them, it isn't one. You go to the store for a few things, and at the register, you're watching the total climb. You're keeping a running tally, deciding in real time what stays and what goes back. And there's that half second when the card machine pauses, that little spinning moment before it says approved, where your stomach drops just slightly every single time. The rich person puts everything in the cart and never watches the screen. The total is just a number that happens afterward. A friend texts you, "Dinner this weekend?" And before you answer, you do it again. The math. What restaurant? What it costs. Whether this is a $30 night or an $80 night. And whether 80 is a night you have right now. So you wait a little before replying. You craft it. Maybe you suggest somewhere cheaper. Maybe you say you're busy when the truth is you just can't afford to be social this month. The rich person reads dinner this weekend and types yes before they've finished the sentence. The cost was never part of the equation, so there was no equation. Just a yes. And on the nights you do go, the bill comes, and someone says, let's just split it evenly. And everyone nods. And you nod too, even though you ordered the cheapest thing on the menu. You're paying for someone else's steak now, because saying anything out loud would cost you more than the difference. The rich person reaches for the whole check before anyone else and means it. You feel something in your body that isn't right. A pain, a lump, a cough that won't leave. And you don't go. You wait. You tell yourself it's probably nothing, because probably nothing is free. And finding out is not. The rich person goes the same week, almost out of boredom, and the small thing gets caught while it's still small. The mail comes and there's an envelope you don't open. You know what it is. You'll deal with it. Not today. There's a small pile of those, the ones you're not ready to look at, and you've trained yourself to walk past them. The rich person opens every envelope the day it arrives because none of them can hurt them. An envelope is just paper when you can pay whatever's inside. You keep a list in your head of free trials you have to cancel before they charge you. You set little reminders. You've lost that game before, forgotten one, gotten charged, and the loss sat on you for a week. The rich person forgets to cancel things all the time and never notices, because a charge they didn't mean to make just disappears into the noise. Your boss says something unfair, asks for something unreasonable, and you swallow it. You smile. You say, of course, because you are one missed paycheck away from everything falling apart, and they know it, and you know they know it. You can't push back when you can't afford to lose. The rich person can say no to their boss, can quit on a Tuesday, can sit across from power and be calmly, completely honest, because there's a cushion underneath them that turns no from a risk into a sentence. There's a date every month that hangs over you. Rent, the mortgage, the one payment that, if it's late, starts a fire you can't put out. You feel it coming for 2 weeks before it arrives. The rich person doesn't know what day their rent is due, it just leaves their account and they never think about it. Your kid asks for something small, a toy, a trip, a thing the other kids have. And you say we'll see, which you both know means no, and it lands somewhere in your chest that will see every single time you have to say it. The rich parent says yes without it registering as a decision. The thing the kid wants and the thing they can have are the same thing. And then it happens, the thing that ends the month. The tire goes flat. The phone screen shatters. The fridge dies. One unexpected $300 problem, and the whole careful structure you built collapses, and you're moving money you don't have to cover a thing you didn't choose. For the rich person, the flat tire is a Tuesday, an annoyance. It doesn't move anything, because there's nothing to move. The cushion absorbs it before it ever becomes an emergency. A friend asks to borrow money, and you want to help, but you can't. So you say the soft no and feel like a bad person for a problem that was never yours. And on the other side, you can't ask either, because you already know the math everyone runs, and you already know what your ask is worth. The rich person can lend without feeling it and never has to borrow at all. And underneath all of it, every single day of it, is the one thing you never get to think about. Later. Retirement. The future. The version of you at 70. You can't plan for that person because this month is too loud. The future is a luxury you can't afford to imagine when the present is screaming. The rich person thinks about later constantly, calmly, because their now is quiet enough to hear it. And at the end of the day, when it's dark and you should be asleep, you're awake, doing the math again, moving the same numbers around, trying to make them fit, knowing they don't, lying there with the only light in the room being the screen you keep checking. Here is the part nobody tells you. The rich aren't calmer because they're stronger. They're not more relaxed because they're wiser, or more disciplined, or better at life. Drop them into your life. Your account, your bills, your month. And the voice would start in about a week. The same math. The same tightening. The same checking the screen at 2 in the morning. That voice was never your personality. It was never a flaw in you. It's just what a brain sounds like when there isn't enough. And it goes quiet the instant there is. And here's the cruelest part of all of it. You are doing more thinking than they are. More math, more planning, more discipline, more restraint, more saying no to yourself 100 tiny times a day. You are working harder inside your own head than a rich person ever has to. And the reward for all that work is that you get to keep doing it. While the thing they get, the real luxury, the one underneath the cars and the houses, is that they get to think about nothing. They get to be bored. Boredom, it turns out, is one of the most expensive things in the world. Only the people who never have to do the math can afford it. Money doesn't buy happiness. You've heard that your whole life, and it's true. But money buys quiet. It buys the silence where the math used to be. It buys a mind that gets to wander instead of one that's always counting. And if you've spent your whole life with that voice running in the back of your head, you are not weak and you are not bad with money. You're just someone who's never been allowed to hear silence. Somewhere right now, someone is standing at a register watching the total climb, deciding what to put back. Someone is typing $20 at a gas pump. Someone is staring at a text, doing the math before they answer a friend. They're not broke because they don't think about money. They're exhausted because they never get to stop. If you've ever done the math before saying yes. Like this video. Someone watching needs to know the voice in their head was never their fault. Subscribe for the rest of the series. Every quiet thing money buys is a thing you were never told you were paying for. And in the comments, tell me, what's the one thought about money you wish you could finally stop having? Because the truth about being rich was never the things you'd get to buy. It's the thoughts you'd finally get to put down.